Mr. Cassidy, why did you want to get 1,000 auto workers to rough up the freedom protesters and then throw them in the Detroit River? Mr. Cassidy, I thought you unionists, you always say love trumps hate. Why are you idling your vehicle? I assume it's fossil fuels.
You got the quote wrong. Check it again.
What did he say, sir?
Check it again.
What did he say? David Menzies for Rebel News. And folks, you know, recently I dropped by Windsor and Detroit for a series of stories. And I thought, you know, while I was in Detroit, why not drop by Unifor 444? That is the local where the head honcho is a fellow by the name of David Cassidy. No, not that David Cassidy from the Partridge Family of the early 70s who was singing all those cheesy lovey-dovey songs. Indeed, this David Cassidy, he's not so much into love, he's more into hatred and violence. You see, back when the Freedom Convoy dropped by the Ambassador Bridge area, David Cassidy, according to a police officer, said that he was going to round up 1,000 auto workers in Windsor, go down to the demonstration, basically rough them up, and then throw them into the Detroit River. And I can tell you this, the Detroit River in the month of February, that is a death sentence. So in any event, we have tried to reach out to David Cassidy. We went to Unifor's head office in Toronto. Well, the lights are on, but nobody's home, despite their brand new ivory temple there. Everybody still seems to be working from home. So we thought we'd make a personal house call to Unifor Local 444. And lo and behold, we lucked out. We caught Mr. Cassidy himself leaving for home. Check out our encounter. So folks, here we are at Local 444. I wanted to get David Cassidy on the record about that threat of getting 1,000 auto workers to go down to the Ambassador Bridge, rough up the protesters there, and then throw them in the Detroit River. And I was going to do that in the morning, but when I Googled their office, they didn't open until 1 p.m. Well, here it is, just 10 after 4. Can you believe it? They're closed. So they open at 1 and close at 4. I mean, the phrase banker's hours, well, this would make a banker blush. Now, the fellow that we encountered there, he's cleaning up. He said he doesn't know if anyone's here or not. I can tell you, I see a Jeep Grand Cherokee parked in the spot that is reserved for David Cassidy. So, here, I'll do that again. Oh, hi, is it David Cassidy?
What?
Are you David Cassidy? No. Is he in there, sir? No? No? Now, folks, I think that gentleman that came out of the Unifor 444 office is indeed David Cassidy, even though he played dumb. And I'm not saying that based on any kind of Sherlock Holmes detective work. You see, this spot here says reserved for Dave Cassidy, president. Mr. Cassidy, why did you want to get 1,000 auto workers to rough up the freedom protesters and then throw them in the Detroit River? Mr. Cassidy, I thought you unionists, you always say love trumps hate, but that was very hateful. Was it something I said? Anyways, by the way, I don't know what the idling bylaw is for the city of Windsor, but this puppy's been running for a while. Aren't these union guys, aren't they all down with, fighting climate change and telling us to ride bicycles and public transit? Well, this looks like a very nice ride. It's probably got an 8-cylinder engine and it's just idling away. I mean, who does David Cassidy think he is? President of Unifor Local 444 or Prime Minister Trudeau? No, he's not Trudeau. Trudeau has about 8 vehicles in his entourage that always idle. So he's not at that level yet. But you saw him basically not answer my question. And really, what kind of answer could you give? That was a despicable, hateful statement actually advocating violence against an identifiable group. Why would he do that? Anyways, we'll wait for him. And also, you know what, folks? I'm going to time just how long he's idling this 8-cylinder SUV. I hear a police cruiser. Oh my God, don't tell me, not again. I'm not going to be roughed up for asking impolite questions, am I? So, Mr. Cassidy, why are you idling your vehicle? I assume it's fossil fuels. Isn't there an anti-idling bylaw in Windsor? But you won't tell us why you made that threat. Well, there's the face of Local 444. Someone advocating violence because the freedom demonstrators were advocating a differing opinion. Oh, look at that. What's that nursery rhyme again? See how they run. See how they run. Wow. Hey, how you doing, sir? Are you a member of Local 444?
What's that?
Are you a member of Local 44? We were just trying to ask David Cassidy, your president, why back in February he wanted to round up 1,000 auto workers, rough up the freedom fighters at the Ambassador Bridge, and then throw them in the Detroit River, which I think is a death sentence in February. Why would he say that?
Oh, he didn't say that. That's not what he said. You got the quote wrong.
Oh, well, we gave him a chance to correct the record, sir, and he just ran away. These are according to police notes of what he said.
No, you got the quote wrong. Check it again.
What did he say, sir?
Check it again.
What did he say? Well, it's nice to see all the Unifor rank and file. They kind of resemble so many versions of Sergeant Schultz from Hogan's Heroes, don't they? You know, I know nothing, I saw nothing.
Oh, I see nothing. I was not here. I did not even get up this morning.
So there you go, folks. Isn't the left all about, you know, love trumps hate? And yet here we have an expression of hatred that if the threat was carried out, it would have resulted in people potentially dying. Unbelievable. And I know what you're saying. Why haven't we heard about this story in the mainstream media? Well, lo and behold, the vast majority of unionized reporters in the mainstream media belong to, guess which union? You got it. Unifor. Knock me down with a feather. For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Well, folks, I know you depend on Rebel News to give you the other side of the story, especially when it comes to a story like the one we just reported on, Unifor and their Local 444 president getting away with actual death threats. Well, the mainstream media is not going to cover that because most of their reporters belong to Unifor, but we need your help. Please go to rebelfieldreports.com. That's rebelfieldreports.com. And if you can make a donation of any amount, that would be greatly appreciated.